me to tell me that. Yeah,
It's incredible.
that's with the cook element, is because he's a cook in that movie. He plays a.
We were talking about that thing about like perfect moments, right?
Yeah.
About like, oh, you only get like 3 or 4 of these.
Right.
Like
when I predicted Buckaroo Banzai.
you predicted that. Okay, so I got my friend's brother sent me weed in the mail from Oregon, and I asked him what the name of the weed was, and his brother didn't text him back for like a couple hours. I said, I'm just gonna call it Death Star, and his brother texted him back like 2 hours later. He's like, yeah, it's called Death Star.
That's
It's
crazy.
Like, really, the bullshit about that is that people win the lottery, right? You only get a couple of those in your life, and I just wasted it.
Yeah.
I feel so like I just fucking.
Well, then there's also people that somehow get like AIDS from a paper cut.
That's true.
Some guy that works in an envelope factory gets paper cut AIDS. Yeah, Under Siege is great. I've actually been going through. Last week I started watching. I'm trying to like watch everything that's ever won Best Picture.
Yeah, why?
I don't know, because I like need new shit to watch. That's how I
there's like
find new
way
shit to
better
watch.
things to get into that weren't. Sorry to put on my Brooklyn, cool guy hat. But
I'm sure there are, but I have plenty
those
of time.
movies are trash. A lot of them.
A lot of them,
Yeah.
but I have the time to do it.
Of course.
And then after,
What year are you at right now?
it's like spotty, so I just pick things.
Okay.
Because I've seen like the entirety of like the 1970s, most of the 1980s, and then 90s and 2000s.
Did Out
for
of
sure.
Africa win Best
Yeah,
Picture?
it did.
Have you seen that?
I haven't.
It's bad, right? Or it's
I don't know.
It's not that good. Right?
Well, it's got Africa in the title, so my hopes aren't high for that one. But more like Stay Out of Africa. That's a movie I would watch. I didn't know Namibia used to just be part of South Africa until like 1990.
Yeah.
That it was just West South Africa.
Yeah. And Zimbabwe used to be Rhodesia and have all different names.
Yeah.
Like Harare was Salisbury.
Well, Zimbabwe was it? Yeah, Zimbabwe. What's the one that took the white people and then became a new place after Rhodesia became Zimbabwe?
Like all the white people. What are you talking about?
Because Mugabe kicked out all the white people basically
Yeah.
from Zimbabwe, and then they went over to
South Africa? I don't know.
No, the one. There's one next door that also starts with a Z.
Zambia?
Maybe. Yeah. Namibia, Zambia, Tia Tamara, Venus.
I don't know if
Serena.
I've said this on the podcast, but I lived in Africa when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's. You live there, or your just parents are from Africa?
We moved back for a year and a half.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, when I was a little kid, I got the accent, and then like I came back and everyone's like, "You sound like such a South African."
Yeah, you know what's funny is because I always knew the name Rhodesia just from like having like geography jammed in my head.
Dog.
Is there a Rhodesian
Ridgeback.
No,
Is that a dog?
I don't fucking know.
Oh.
But and then I didn't know until the Dylan Roof thing that's like a thing white supremacists associate
they wanted to
with.
go back to Rhodesia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were somehow even more racist than South Africa.
Yeah. Well, they wouldn't let black people own any land or something, and I think it was even smaller white minority.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was. I mean,
I watched I watched a South African movie. Like
which one?
Dust Devil.
Invictus?
No, Dust Devil.
What's that?
It's well, I watched. Have you seen Lost Souls, the Richard Stanley documentary?
No.
It's a documentary about Richard Stanley's remake of The Island of Dr. Moreau
Oh yeah,
in like 1996. Yeah. So it's if you haven't seen it, it's fucking great because it's all about all the crazy shit Brando was doing towards the end of his career.
Right.
Like
Fat Brando.
Yeah, so Brando was like notoriously difficult to work with at this point, and Richard Stanley had directed 2 or 3 movies at this point.
Wait, just as an aside, was it you who told me that in The Siege he didn't wear pants the entire time?
The score. Yeah,
score.
somebody told. I read that online. Yeah, they had to shoot him from the waist up because he refused to wear pants.
He's just wearing moo.
Yeah, but then if you watch the movie and like the first scene he's in, immediately you can see him wearing pants. So that one's not true. But there are a bunch of
I
other.
want to believe that's true.
There are a bunch of other Brando things. Like he on the Island of Dr. Moreau, he like invented this weird hat that had a bucket on top of it so he could pour ice in it and cool off his head. Yeah. And then they had to like just let him wear that while they were shooting the movie because he didn't want to take that bucket filled with ice off his head. It's the documentary's great. It covers like all this shit. I mean, I guess we have fucking time to kill. You know, I can tell you all. I can just give you the play-by-play.
Let's go.
Yeah. So it's great. It not just for the Brando shit, but like Richard Stanley directed like 2 or 3 movies at that point. His like breakthrough into the mainstream was this movie Hardware, because prior to that he had been like a music video guy, and he made Hardware.
What year was this Island of Dr. Moreau?
1996, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Hardware was 1990, and he made Dust Devil in between the two. But yeah, so I think New Line was gonna make The Island of Dr. Moreau, and they were like wary about hiring Richard, and then they like got a couple of people on board with it. They got Brando on board with the project and Val Kilmer, and then they decided to replace Richard Stanley.
My favorite actor.
Yeah.
I mean, both of them.
Yeah, they decided to replace Richard Stanley, and Richard Stanley like had a temper tantrum about it, and like went to go see Brando, and for some reason Brando like took the meeting, you know, in his like bizarre castle on like Mulholland Drive or wherever the fuck he lives. He was neighbors with like Jack Nicholson. They live on like the top of the hill, and they're like
Harry Dean Stanton.
Probably. He's been in so many fucking movies. You know, he's still in. He has like 4 movies coming out this year.
Yeah.
And he's like 90.
He's a legend.
He's 92 or 93
Have you seen
years
Paris,
old.
Texas?
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Well, I don't know why the fuck. But
You wanted to
We're
tell
supposed
me
to
the
be-
entire plot of the Island
no,
of Dr.
we're supposed to be doing jokes, dude. What the fuck
We're
is
not being
this?
funny. We're
not
doing
being
that.
funny. But this
Well,
is turning
we need
into.
Stop here.
No, we don't need fucking stop here. This is turning into regular podcast territory.
Yeah. Let's talk about funny stuff, dude.
Oh
We
man,
gotta be mean.
I watched 5 minutes of The View the other day, and they're talking about
Those cunts.
They're talking about like, is Whoopi's like, a new study says that sex, on average, only lasts 7 minutes, and then all of them are like, oh hell no, you know. And then, like, you know, 2 of them are hot. I don't know what they always have, like, one woman on the show. A hot conservative, yeah. They got a hot conservative Latina now.
Honey child.
Yeah. And so Oprah's sitting there, and she just looks
Oprah?
like, yeah, sorry. Whoopi's sitting there. I call her Oprah as a joke so much that now I do it on purpose or by accident.
Is Goldberg a stage name, by the way? I've
No.
always been too afraid to ask.
No, that's
She's Jewish?
no, I'm pretty sure that's a stage name.
It has to be.
Yeah.
God, if you could choose any last
So
name.
she's sitting there, and they put her on the end of the table. So she always looks like a pile of like the blankets that they give to people that survive a disaster.
Oh, yeah.
Like she's just this lumpy mess covered in blankets of clothing with usually like nice sneakers coming out of the bottom. And
Wearing Yeezys.
yeah. And she's like, 45 minutes at least. And it's like,
That's how long she fucks?
no way, dude. No fucking way. Who's fucking you that long?
Ted Danson.
Yeah, right.
He was for a while.
Can you imagine that? I just imagine her sitting there with, like, you know how like Jabba had
But she
Princess
has a
Leia
tit
chained up.
tattoo, right? That's what everyone was going nuts about at the Oscars.
Oh yeah, everyone. But now I can't remember if it was her or Oprah because somebody got in trouble for calling her Oprah, and then I was like, that's so funny.
Who did?
I don't know.
How do you confuse them?
Because you so often confuse them as a joke that you eventually do it on purpose.
I guess so.
Yeah. Like Joy Behar, I call her Reba McEntire as a joke, but then I start doing it on purpose.
The Fred Armisen impression of Joy Behar that he used to do on SNL is so fucking.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
It's intensely funny.
Should we take another break?
Yeah,
I guess
we
you handle your business over there. I'll just keep talking about something.
Keep talking, and then I'll hand off.
You'll handle
You handle your business.
Okay, you keep talking for
I
a
really
second.
want a cigarette and to take a shit. Right.
I gotta take a shit so bad. You keep talking for a second. I'm gonna refill my water.
Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
talk. Refill the water. Then you'll come back. You'll talk. I'll do it too. Nick's asking me to summarize the rest of that movie he was describing, but I haven't seen it. I have seen a similar movie called Lost in La Mancha, which was about Terry Gilliam trying to make.
Have you ever seen Viva Rock Vegas?
Had no effect. So just, yeah.
That's a fucking classic.
That was the sequel, the Flintstones sequel.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I never saw that one. I saw the one with John Goodman.
Wasn't he in both of them?
Was he? I assume they replaced
This is so
everybody.
funny. This is what Cocaine is. Cocaine is literally just book and movie recommendations and albums. Oh, dude, you've never listened to the Rolling Stones?
Yeah.
Okay, you gotta get into the Rolling Stones. Oh my god, dude, they're so good.
Yeah, this is why we shouldn't do movie reviews, because a movie review for me is like, yeah, I sat there, I watched it, here's what I remember what happened, and I thought it was pretty good. That's my take on almost every movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, me too. I'm not critical enough. I'm not like liberal or artsy enough.
Yeah,
like,
go ahead, you do it, Bomb.
Okay.
While I quickly review The Phantom, starring Billy Zane as...
that was Alec Baldwin.
No, that's The Shadow.
That's The Shadow.
Yeah. The Phantom is... are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Phantom is like a children's movie where, you know, a similar thing. It's like set in the 30s or some shit. But I remember they had like one violent scene where a guy gets stabbed in the eye by a fucking like microscope that has razor blades that come out of
It's a
it.
kids movie?
Yeah, it's like it's a bizarrely violent scene.
Oh, wow.
So they should give me a job on the censorship board. Guys, please, you know, continue donating. More bonus content like this coming
We're
right
gonna do a
up.
different drug every bonus episode. Next week, Jankum. Stav's doing Jankum because he. Oh, okay. So Stav, basically what you do is you poop into a jar, into a mason jar. You leave it out. In the
This is real, guys. This is Jankum. It's what they do in Africa.
It's what kids. You leave it out in the sun, and do you remember that ad that was like post 9/11, and it was like, if you do drugs, your money's going to Al Qaeda.
Yeah.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I do. But how funny is it that they fucking offered to put this show on the Anthony Cumia network without, like, they didn't listen to a single episode because we make fun of it, that show.
Is that why?
I don't know, but like the fact that he would be like, hey, I think it would be a good fit, it just means that like someone was like, hey, this show, like people like this show, and they're like, yeah, sure, we'll buy it without putting any fucking thought into it. That's how great show business is.
What's the deal that Anthony Cumia would offer us? $100,000 an episode.
$100,000 an episode. I don't know. They make good money. It would be, and like, you know, Lewis gave us an offer too.
For what's he on?
He has his own. He made enough money on like the Anthony Cumia shit that he has his own studio now.
I thought Lewis does a thing with Big J Oakers.
Yeah, I think their Legion of Skanks is now on Lewis's own podcast network that he owns, and he has studio space and shit.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, they're doing real well.
If he's so successful, why does he have to fucking steal the Puerto Rican rattlesnake moniker?
I don't know. Dude, I saw him. He was on Periscope the other day, and he didn't know I was watching or whatever, and he was like, yeah, what am I going to do to deal with Nick Mullen? He was like, I want to, you know, he's calling himself the Puerto Rican rattlesnake to troll me, but like, you can't fucking troll me. Like, I just don't get trolled. I'm just going to fucking punch you in the head. He's like, would that be funny if I just fucking walked up to him and punched him in the head? Seriously, guys? Like, would that be funny? You know, or whatever. And I joined, and I was like, Lewis, this is the police. And then his connection went out. Okay, so this maybe might have been a false start with the bonus content, but whatever, dude. It's fucking bonus content, and I've decided just now in the snap judgment I will release Dickfield Diaries. I'll go ahead and do that anyways. Yeah. That'll be fun.
Finally, where are we at right now?
It's like 30 minutes total.
Total?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, 30 total, dude.
This hasn't been 30 minutes. We've been here for 2.5 hours.
Nah.
What do you mean, what about it, Carl? It's
What were you going to say?
I don't understand.
You gotta hurry up. You gotta say
Colin
it.
Kaepernick, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Standing, supporting the troops.
Oh, can you believe that shit?
Can you believe that?
Can you fucking believe the disrespect?
Here's the thing.
Did that guy who may or may not be black or Puerto Rican or something? What is that last name even?
He was adopted by white people.
But that's not even a white
So
last
that's what
name.
people are. Kaepernick? It's like German sounding.
Yeah, he's a fucking Nazi.
He's
I'm gonna have to listen to some crowd bastard tell me who the real Nazis are.
I guess
Is this me right here?
No, that's bonus. Bonus.
That's bonus. That's leftover. Okay. Well, you know what? I think we've done enough damage.
Have we?
I don't know.
I wonder if this was listenable.
Maybe not. Do you want to take another break and come back?
Yeah. Let's just see.
Okay. All right.
We'll
Yeah.
We might be back.
We might be back. All right. Goodbye, folks.
Don't look down, just keep your head or you'll be finished. Open up the limit.
Okay, we're back. Bonus content part 3.
We're going hour 2 here.
Yeah, we're gonna just try and, you know what? If you can't, quantity instead of quality.
Right.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a marathon.
This is a fucking nightmare, dude. This is such a bad idea.
I thought it was a good idea, at first, because they're like, Martin Scorsese made entire movies like this, where he was just constantly doing coke.
Yeah, I feel like we should just figure out a way to apologize quickly and
To the listener?
but we haven't. See, the problem is we haven't been hanging out, so we don't have any good bits. We went to that party and there were gay guys doing poppers. That's pretty funny.
That was pretty funny, yeah. But that's just the extent of that.
Yeah. We didn't see them fuck each other afterwards or anything.
No, that would have been cool.
I was thinking about like. No, I wasn't. Like if you could get, because like AIDS is such a big part of like the gay community where there's like bug chasers and shit. If you could get pure AIDS and like sell it as like
uncut,
like an artisanal, like pure uncut.
I'm glad that these guys are taking $5 to hear that.
God damn it, dude! I should have just done the dick-filled shit on my own. I don't know why. We need Stav. We can't do this without Stav.
I mean, listen.
He's on the road with Bobby Kelly, who he won't let anyone else feature for.
Stop it. Stop it.
He won't hear this. He doesn't pay the $5 a month. Stav will never hear this
I'm not paying the $5.
I'm not paying it either.
None of us are gonna ever hear that.
Yeah, I don't even listen to these when I edit them.
I got a text today from a girl that listens to the podcast that her and her friend had an hour-long debate, murder, fuck, kill, or murder. What is it? Murder, marry,
fuck, marry, kill.
Fuck, marry, kill the Cum Boys.
And it's I'm always kill. I'm
kill.
I'm kill.
I told her I would kill and then marry Stav and then kill you.
Yeah, I'm the guy that gets fucking killed. I feel that way. That's my self-esteem issue.
Well, it's cool that
I like that one of the options is shitty. Like it's like fuck, marry, kill is just like, okay, here's 3 things. Which one do you not like?
Well, marry implies you just fuck them for the rest of your life, right?
Sure. Yeah. So that's the better.
So why
of the two.
is fuck like?
Why is the game just called like rank these 3 things?
Who do you want to marry?
Yeah, which one of these is the best, and then the middle one, and then the shitty one that you wish was dead.
Right.
Right? That's like a Seinfeld. That could be a whole Seinfeld episode.
The secret is that all the Cum Boys wish we were dead. So
yeah, and we're trying to get there by doing as many drugs as possible and recording. Man, I really wish we had some fucking funny thing to end on here. I really was hoping we'd hit that record button, and then we'd be firing on all cylinders.
Well, let's go story style, right? We're on the like talkie drug, right? So like, what was the first time you did cocaine?
It was on Halloween when I was 15.
What was the most pleasurable time? What was the best time you ever did?
Oh, I don't fucking know, dude.
I remember.
Okay, go. Tell your story then. You don't have to prompt me for your story.
I just like one of the first times we ever did it, but we were all nerds, so we just watched The Room with director's commentary the entire time. It was incredible.
That was a great story.
That was a good story.
I'm so glad we went.
Are you into The Room? The Room changed my life.
No, I've actually never seen it.
Really?
Yeah, never.
Oh, it completely changed my life. It changed the way I evaluate all art. It changed like what I find funny. It ruined my brain.
Why?
I remember just seeing it in college.
I'm having like a panic attack about how completely unfunny the last hour has been.
Oh, it's been so unfunny.
Who the fuck is listening to this? They're gonna demand a refund.
Maybe we hang on to this one and then we just like drop it. Like this is the Lost Cocaine episode. Like we'll reference it on the podcast.
No, because there has to be bonus content. I promised it. I was gonna do the Dick Field thing. You know what? He knew it. He knew that was gonna be. He saw that I announced bonus content, and then he had that meltdown. Oh, that's what this is. That's exactly what this is. Seth fucking got me. He fucking got me, dude.
I hope
he knew. He was
true,
like,
but it's
they're
not.
gonna try and make money at some point. And the only way they're gonna be able to do it is with me. So I'll wait until they announce it, and then I'll get them for fraud because they have to. I'm on drugs now because of Seth Cockfield. It's his fault. I've been sober for 4 years, and now I'm falling off the wagon because Seth checkmated me.
We did coke last weekend.
All right.
Seth will have his revenge one day on you, but I don't think it'll be like this. I think it's going to be far more elaborate. I think it's going to involve, you on the cover of the New York Post with some really bad pun above your head.
You know, people shit on those posts, but that's a lot of work.
The pun department?
Yeah, to come up with those.
Yeah.
Every single day.
Yeah, new pun every day.
Can you imagine how furiously whoever comes up with those beats off at the end of every day? That must be such a miserable existence. Having to come up with fucking puns. The amount of stress you're under for such a dumb fucking thing.
Oh, God.
I think about, like, how the amount of stress that some really worthless jobs have. Like being a clown. Like being a circus clown. How much pressure that must be to perform constantly. And everyone hates you anyways.
Oh, yeah. Kids want to beat you up.
Yeah.
Being a mascot for a stadium. Like the joke when we were kids were that we wanted to fuck them up. We like try to trip them. They have really bad peripheral vision because of the masks. Mm-hmm. You know, they're always like.
Goofy got in trouble for touching some girl's pussy at Disney World. Yeah, and that's like the World Series of being a mascot is being one of the Disney World.
Oh yeah, you're really up there in the mascot game.
Can you imagine rising to the level of Disney World Goofy, and then that's when you strike?
Be brought down.
You spend years as Chuck E. Cheese probably, or as like a guy in a
Chuck
gorilla
E. Cheese is like animatronic, isn't he?
No. Well, they have the band in the showroom.
The band, yeah. That shit is rad. All right, so in the interest of the cocaine episode, we should just finish this, right?
Finish the rest of the cocaine?
And the episode, too.
And the episode. God damn it, dude. I'm so sorry. I have there's just nothing fun.
I feel really bad, too. I mean, I did say before we even took the cocaine that, John Lennon, Stevie Wonder, Paul McCartney, and Harry Nilsson, 4 of the best musicians of all time, tried to do this, and their album was absolute dog shit.
Yeah, but we're not musicians.
Yeah, but we're like, we're like 2 of the worst podcasters of all time. Why would this make us any better?
I don't know. I really don't know. I think we should have really done the idea where we do director's commentary on an old episode. I feel like this episode was going great until we took the break to do the cocaine, and then it was
fine. We had our shit together. It wasn't the funniest. We were making fun of stuff for being fat.
Okay. We were making fun of him for being fat.
He couldn't defend himself the best way.
That's the best way to make fun of anybody.
Yeah.
Until they figure out a way to fuck you by demanding a public apology. Oh shit.
Where does he sell then?
Can you guys hear that?
Do you want an office DVD?
It's the police outside. They heard that there are 2 white men in an apartment in Bed-Stuy.
So what do you think? Juanita Broderick lying, telling the truth?
Wait, was that the rape in the 80s?
Yeah, the Bill Clinton rape.
Oh, I thought that was like the woman that was on the Robert Downey Jr. show, and Al Sharpton was there, and there was that they did it at the Apollo.
Yeah, every time, honestly, for a second, anytime I hear Juanita Broderick, I think it's like some like Mexican woman that Matthew Broderick legitimately knocked up. That's the snap thought in my head, and then I have to remember that.
So wait, when was this from?
I don't fucking know.
Arkansas? He raped a woman?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if he raped someone.
You always believe. Oh my God, dude, we have to stop doing this. We have to stop doing this episode as soon as possible.
This is the worst episode
Oh my
of all
God,
time.
what do you guys say? Do you call it checkers or rallies? Write into the show. Let us know.
We're going Carl's Jr. Hardee's. What do you guys
Carl's
think?
Jr. Hardee's. Chipwich or cookie sandwich?
You know, it's kind of
Or
annoying.
ice cream sandwich?
How like I'm from the West Coast, but like how people talk about In-N-Out like it's the best.
That place fucking sucks. People do that with every burger
alright.
place.
It's
People do that with
okay.
everybody has like Shake Shack here. Shake Shack
Shake
sucks.
Shack's not that good.
It's not that good. There's no such thing as a good burger.
What do you mean there's no such thing as a good burger?
It doesn't exist. Red
Never
Robin's
had a
pretty
good burger before?
Somebody just got shot, dude. Did you hear that? There's literally
No, it's a firework.
no. There's gunshot. It's not firework. It's September. What are they celebrating?
The end of
9/11. 9/11 is the closest holiday.
Tomorrow at midnight. We should podcast until midnight when it becomes 9/11. It's September 10th right now.
Oh, holy shit, dude. I forgot. This is like the 9/11 bonus episode.
Yeah, it's the-
That's why it's a disaster. That's why it's going so bad, is it's a fucking homage to 9/11.
Yeah.
So for the 3,000 people that died, that's why this has been literally the worst one we've ever done. I know I say that every time, but not only is it bad, we don't know when to quit. This is like, when somebody's bombing and
This
they've
is
got
a
the light.
hostage situation.
Yeah,
yes. What's the best New York City meltdown you've seen at an open mic?
You were there with that one guy
Yep.
at the pit that one time where
At
he's
the
like,
pit.
you go around, everybody wants your fucking dollar. And it's like, those are homeless people. You should feel bad for them. They're not trying to swindle you. They live outside.
I live in a bunk bed in Bushwick with 8 other guys.
Yeah, so does everyone.
Yeah,
These are all comedians. You paid $3 to be on stage right now.
Just move home.
Yeah.
Just move home.
You
Tell your
have to have
parents.
that as an option. I tried to be a fucking comedian. He just watches the speech from Glengarry Glen Ross every night and looks over his fucking Tinder jokes.
The Pacino speech?
Yeah. Always be closing. Not the Pacino speech, the fucking Alec Baldwin speech.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Guys, Glengarry Glen Ross is another movie that I've seen. The movies. You're listening to the Movies I've Seen podcast with Randy Ipcut. Hi, my name's Randy, and in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about the film Ernest Goes to Jail. In the movie, there is a man named Ernest who goes to jail, and lots of things happen in regards to him being in jail. Well, I wonder how many people you could get to listen to an hour of that.
The films I've seen.
The films I've seen. Hi, my name's Randy. Another film I've seen is the sequel to Jurassic Park, which the name escapes me at this moment. But folks, the dinosaurs are back and they're angrier than ever. They're biting, they're slashing, some of them are flying. Is that an egg I see? Oh no, the egg's opening. Now there's baby dinosaurs running around.
Yeah. They're going to grow up and be bad guy dinosaurs pretty
Hi,
soon.
my name's Randy, and you're listening to the Movies I've Seen podcast. On today's episode, 101 Dalmatians. Let's count them up. 1 Dalmatian, 2 Dalmatians, 3 Dalmatians, 4 Dalmatians. Oops, here comes 5. 5 Dalmatians. Oh no, there's the 6th one. Now we got 6 Dalmatians, folks. Stay tuned. 7 Dalmatians.
How did stand-up comedy exist? How is it fueled for 15 to 20 years on this substance, cocaine?
I don't know. The leather jackets. Have you ever watched old Jon Stewart stand up?
Oh my God,
He's so fucking
embarrassing.
funny. Oh, this is the only, because I was going to do
I
that.
love that Mark Maron and Jon Stewart hate each other.
I was going to do that Vogue birthday party, the Anna Wintour thing.
Yeah.
And the only joke that I wanted to do, I was hoping there'd be like a fat fashion lady there so I could call her Nutella DeVille. I've been looking for a home for that joke for probably weeks now. I don't know who to call Nutella DeVille, because you know what it is?
Find one.
Anytime there's a fat, fabulous woman, everybody's like, "Ooh, that bitch Ursula. Look, it's Ursula."
Ursula, that's
They go
always
Ursula,
the first one. Yeah.
Which
Little Mermaid.
Nutella DeVille is great. So guys,
better.
if you have an opportunity, let's get rid of Ursula. Let's swap in fucking Nutella DeVille. I feel like that Randy character that could sort of make up
The
for the
films
last.
I've seen.
Yeah. Hi, my name's Randy, and this week I watched 5 Easy Pieces, starring Jack Nicholson as Jonathan Five.
Is that your favorite movie?
Yeah, it is.
It's pretty good.
Well, you know what? It was my favorite movie when I was 19, and then
I wouldn't say it's my favorite.
Right around 20, 21, I stopped caring about anything. Like being passionate about things.
Being good.
Yeah. So
that's what happened to me after I saw The Room.
Yeah.
Like, there's no such thing as good, and there's no such thing as bad. What was your favorite movie
when you were a kid? My list of favorite things was so bad.
It was bad, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think like high school is Gladiator.
Yeah.
Because I saw it with my dad.
We talked about this on the last one.
Yeah.
We did.
It's a bad movie. I saw it recently. Pretty bad.
Ghost Dog Way of the Samurai.
I thought that movie was a kick-ass.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool. I told you I saw Jim Jarmusch walking around the village.
Jim Jarmusch? I don't think anyone knows how to pronounce his name. Jim Jarmusch?
Jarmusch. Jim Jarmusch.
That's a good podcast. Hi, my name's Randy, and you're listening to the How to Pronounce Jim Jarmusch's Name podcast, sponsored by the Anthony Cumia Network. We have been blessed with Anthony. Mr. Cumia has allowed us to come in his studio and discuss Jim Jarmusch's name. Norman Wilkerson is going to message me and call me so many names for how bad this is.
This podcast, right?
Yeah, and even the good ones, Norman, it's like, it's a fucking awful show. It's fucking terrible.
That?
Yeah, he's like, you guys are fucking idiots. This is a bad show. Yeah.
But he's your friend.
I know. That's why he thinks it's okay to say that to me.
But he's doing that to like shit on you because he's your friend.
Yeah,
right?
but he's still shitting on me, legitimately. Yeah.
All right, so just to catch everyone up that's not in the room, we're going to finish this right now, and then we're going to finish the podcast.
Who the fuck is setting off 9/11 fireworks?
It's for 9/11,
Come on, man.
Those are actually coming from Staten Island.
Are they?
They're firing them across the Verrazano.
But they do that every day. They celebrate 9/11 when the clock hits it.
We should go to Staten Island for the 9/11 parade tomorrow. It's the #1 holiday, Staten Island.
They love that shit, dude. All right, so I guess all right, that's off-putting. I don't like those fireworks going on.
Yeah, I don't.
What if there were veterans in this neighborhood? You know, you can't even make popcorn around veterans. You can't do fireworks.
What's your favorite war?
My favorite war?
Yeah.
Hold on one second.
My favorite war. I don't know. I don't have one. I think a cool war was 1812 because we were the bad guys, sort of, and it ended, and Andrew Jackson didn't like know that it ended, and he destroyed New Orleans. Like the war was over, and he was like, "Well, there's still a war going on." So then he just like marched down to New Orleans, and then he razed the entire city. I think that's pretty badass.
Was the Six Flags there when this happened?
This was.
Have we ever talked about that? Our day trip to the Six Flags?
No, I don't think we've talked about it on the podcast. That's pretty cool.
It doesn't matter. This isn't good podcast content. You know, nobody wants to hear about a time we went to this thing.
Yeah, no, dude, it's funny. The swastikas,
Six Flags is badass, dude. It was like fucking shut down, and we hung out in there. And like,
okay, so Nick and I were in New Orleans.
His girlfriend was there, and fucking we said shit to her, and then there was that other bitch.
Nick and I were in New Orleans. There's a Six Flags that's been left derelict since Katrina, and like if you hop a fence, you can like go inside. It looks like a post-apocalyptic, you know. It looks pretty badass, but we were laughing the whole time because there's just graffiti everywhere, and one of the most prevalent parts of graffiti is just guys like in the middle of doing a swastika being like, "Oh fuck, I did it wrong again."
Yeah, they
guys
fucked
that
up.